Okay, so let us start database vault. Okay, so we'll be covering the overview of database vault components, examples, effects, data vault administrator, reporting, and managing the database vault. Okay, so what is database vault, why it is needed? Okay, so first, to understand that a DBA has an access, we know DBA has an access to the complete database, right? What he actually doesn't need, actually what the DBA work is, to manage your data, to start and stop your database, to apply patching, to see the performance report, go to these dollar session. But still he has access to the complete database, okay, which he actually doesn't need. Just like if you take an example, like you have an HR database where you have salaries of your employees, maybe their banking database where there are account information, there are other, just they're giving payroll, procurement, finance, all those kind of information are stored in your database. So that need, that for that reasons DB has the access to that information, to have that information. Database vault introduces a separation of duty. Okay, it introduces a function which is known as separation of duty, where DBA will not have an access to all those components. Also, it doesn't have an access to creation of users as well, creation of users profiles, because creation of user also will give him an access to create any users and can access the database by providing the privileges. Okay, so it doesn't have a privilege to create the users as well. So users, creation of users profiles would be restricted to DBA. Okay, and DBA will not have an access to the complete database. People who have an access to select any table, drop a kind of an access, this kind of select any table or insert any table, will also be restricted in this, because if somebody has by mistake given an access to some users, he can select any table in the database. So such access is also restricted. But if somebody has given an exclusive access on particular table, just like somebody has given uh, select a grant select on scott.emp to maybe HR user, then definitely he can access, HR user can access. But if somebody hasn't selected any table access, then he will not be able to access. Okay, so this is the functionality of database vault, where you have a component like realms, which will store the tables and schemas which you want to protect it from DBS. Okay, specifically from DBS actually. Okay, this technology, or this term has come up to protect the data from the DBA access, or the people who has an access with select any kind of roles. You got it?
Yes.
Okay, so it restricts access to specific areas in Oracle database from any users, including users who have administrative access, that DBS. For example, you want to restrict administrative access to employee salaries, customer medical records, or other sensitive information. It protects data from super privileged user, but still allows them to maintain your Oracle database. So it is not stopping you for Oracle database. You can still use an Oracle database, you can maintain your Oracle database. It just because actually, if you think that DBA does not need to have an access on all those schemas, okay, you need not to have an access. You have an access, but you need not to have an access. Okay, so it's just stopping you from those access, so that DBA does not have an access to all this information. So somebody, if the DBA is outsourced to other companies, other organization, and they want to protect the data from that outside access, he has an access to maintain the database. He can start, stop the database, he can shut down the database, but he will not be able to access, delete, update, or anything on those tables or on all those schemas. So we have to specify these schemas that are sensitive schemas, and we have to put inside a realm. Okay, so realm is kind of an repository of those schemas and table. We'll got to know about all those things later. So it addresses the most difficult security problem, protecting against insider threats and enforcing separation of duty, working on different applications. It can be configured on standalone, rack, or in multiple Oracle homes and on Exadata V2 database machines. Okay, so it can be configured on any database like standalone, rack, also on the multi-tenant database as well. Okay, so there's a mix of 11G and 12C slides, but like technology is since long actually. It's not with 11G, I think starts with 10G itself. So we have DBA machine, Audit Vault implemented HR application employee machine. So it can be, if it can stop you from all those access as well. Okay. So RELIM, I was talking about RELIM again and again. So what does a RELIM say? RELIM is a functionally grouping of database object and rules that must be secured. Okay. So you want to RELIM is kind of a firewall. You can say it's kind of firewall or a secure zone where you can put your tables, where you can put your schemas, complete schemas or rules, which should not be given access to the DBAs. Okay, so DBA should not have an access, or anybody who doesn't select any kind of privilege should not have an access to those objects. Then there is a command rule as well. So command rules is a special rule that you can create how user can execute almost any SQL commands, SQL, including select, alter system, DDL, and DML statement. So in the same way, we are protecting your objects. You can protect your commands as well. Just like you don't want that anybody should execute truncate, okay, and should not anybody should execute alter system. Okay, so such commands also you can stop people to execute, or okay, stop DBS to execute in any kind of circumstances until unless it is kind of explicitly granted to that user. Okay, and factor is a named variable or attribute such as user location, database IP address, or session user, which Oracle database vault can recognize and can secure. So factor would be depending on the different factors you want to secure your database. If the session is coming from particular IP or particular location, particular user, then you want to protect, you want to recognize those IPs, you want to recognize those user, OS user or database user, and you don't want them to access, or maybe you want to allow them or not allow them. Okay, so these would be different factors. So we have three things. Relims would be a kind of a secure zone where you can put your schemas and objects where people will DB will not be able to access. Then there would be commands. You can put your commands also in a command rule which you can stop people to access. And then factors. So factors would be the variables like username, OS username or database username, which database vault can recognize and can stop, monitor, or maybe allow them. Okay, so then there are different different terms. Okay, you can configure your database vault using OEM. Okay, using OEM you can configure them. Okay, so you can configure your database using OEM. You can configure them, or there is a data vault administrator as well. Okay, the Java based application where it allows security managers to configure the access control policy, the user friendly interface. So this is a kind of a graphical interface which you can configure. I don't think it is there with 12c and 19c. Now only graphically we can configure only through OEM. I think it was there till 11g. It does not come with 18 like after 12c didn't came database vault administrator. Okay, so this is the page where you can see database managing DB database using OEM. So we have relims, command rules, factors in this administrator database vault. You can manage this. So we will not be going through OEM practically. I would be showing you through the command line, through SQL commands, how we can monitor it. Okay. So this is the just basic overview of database vault. Okay, then we'll talk about how we can configure it. How first we have to enable it in our database. Till now it is clear. This is fine.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now to configure it, we have to first enable the label security of the database. Okay, in the multi-tenant database as well, we have to first enable the Oracle label security. Then we have to enable the database vault. Okay, then we have to enable the database vault on the CDB root and then on the PDBs. Okay, on the PDBs. So there are two main roles which you have to see. One is DB owner and one is DB account manager role. Okay, DB owner and DB account manager. These are the role which we will be granting. Okay, which will be grant for the users that will be going to create. Okay, so first we have to enable the label security. So label security is a component when we are installing Oracle, when we are creating an Oracle database, then this component comes in the list actually. Okay, this component comes in the list where we want to enable it or disable it, but generally we don't check it actually. Okay, but if we have not checked it during creation, definitely we can check it later on as well. We can enable it later on as well. You can just check this component from this select value from $V option. I'll just go through the practical, just show you the machine as well. Just let us quickly go through it, how it is done. So this is the command you can check. Okay.
Okay.
This is the command you can check whether label security is enabled or not. If it is not enabled, then you have to execute these two. You have to execute these two scripts to enable it. Okay. In case of a normal database, a traditional database, you just execute this will be enabled. Okay. In case of container, you have to first execute them on the container database, then you have to enable them on the PDBs. Okay. You have to enable them on the PDBs as well. If you run DBCA, then this label security also comes up. You can see the label security, and then this also comes up. Then this user, you have to unlock, assign a password, and you have to unlock this user, LBS C6. Okay. So after enabling this label security, now you have to enable the database vault. Similarly, you will see in the options command whether database vault is enabled or not. If it is not enabled, then you create two users, grant the create session to these users, and then configure DB. Configure DB, assign them these two privileges, SecAdmin1 and SecAdmin2, the two users we created. Okay, this assigning the user, we can see whether the privileges are granted or not, and then you can just enable it. Okay, connect with this SecAdmin1, which is the owner, and then you can enable it with this command of enable DB. Run UTLRP and restart the database. You can restart the database. Now what they are saying, you can create a backup accounts as well. You can create two accounts more, like there is SecAdmin1, SecAdmin2. I'm just giving one name. Okay, you can give any name. You can create any user, maybe DB owner or DB account manager, whatever you want to create. You can create any user. Okay, I'm saying that the Oracle documentation say create two backup users as well, because these are very important user. If we lost the password, or if we this password are expired or something happens, it's become very critical for us to log in sometimes. Okay, so after enabling it, we have to restart, and then similarly the multi-tenant as well, we create the user, we do the same thing in the container. First we have to enable them on the container, then we can enable them whatever PDB we want to enable, then we can enable that whatever PDB you want to enable. Okay, in the DBCA we can configure it over here. Okay, over here we can configure them. Okay, so these are the now once these are enabled, now all these privileges to DBA is revoked. Okay, DBA, all these privileges like become user, create any job, okay, all these privileges are revoked from this DBA role. Okay, all these privileges are revoked from DBA role. Okay, so these are privileges are revoked from the DBA role. These are privileges are revoked from the this role, import full database role. These privileges are revoked from this role. This privilege is revoked from public user. So all these privileges are being revoked. So after database vault is enabled, sys and system can no longer create, alter, and drop the user. User who have database vault account manager role can now create user. Okay, but cannot grant them the privilege normally associated. Sys can grant the privileges. Definitely, he cannot grant the privileges, but only database vault account manager can create a user now. Okay, privileges like DB etc. can be granted by Sys. User can still manage their own passwords. Okay, so this all changes will happen to your database once database vault is enabled. you will get these two roles, DV underscore owner, DV underscore account manager, and these privileges are granted to this roles. Okay, that is create, alter, drop profile, create, alter, drop users. Okay, so let us not go further. I think let us not go further. Let me go back to the machine and then I will show you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our database. Okay, this is our database. So first we will see. First we have to enable. First we have to enable the label security. Okay. So label security is already enabled. Okay. So if this was not enabled, then what I have to do? I have to execute these two commands. Okay. Maybe I'm just executing it once more, otherwise not needed actually, because this is already enabled. Okay. This will enable my label security. If it is not enabled in your case, just execute these two commands. Okay. After that, just check whether the database vault is enabled or not. Okay. So now this is not enabled in our case. Okay. So what I will do, I will first create two users. Okay. These user would be database vault owner and database vault account manager. Okay. So owner is the bigger user. Okay. Owner has more privileges, where database vault is only concentrated on just a minute. So database vault account manager is only concentrated with the creating and dropping of the user. Database owner would be the one who would be enabling the database vault and would be doing all the configuration. Okay, would all doing it. So database vault owner would be more privileged. So maybe I create a like DV owner maybe. Okay, because DV underscore owner is the role name. Okay, DV underscore owner is the role name. So that is a, maybe I would say DV owner one. Okay, I create one user, then DV account manager one or DV manager maybe, that is DV simple only. Okay, I create user, user DV MGR one. Then I grant create session to them. Okay. And to change the username, I just copied it from my PPT. Just change the username. DV owner one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now you can see it is executed. Okay, it was we just enabled it and now it is executed. So now this DB Vault is enabled. So this can be configured through DBCA utility as well. We just select it and modify it. We can specify these two users, DB owner one, DB manager one, whatever user we have created. Okay, whatever you have user created, you can just configure these users. You can configure now this DB owner. Now DB owner one is the data vault owner and this one is the manager. Okay, so now we can connect with this user DB owner one Oracle. So even Oracle suggests to run this UTLRP. Let us run that UTLRP as well. It suggests to run this UTLRP after enabling it. Okay, so now we go to this user DB owner one Oracle and enable this database vault. This practical you can do at your end as well. You just need a simple Oracle database for any version, and you can complete this practical. The steps also is almost same. Okay, from 12C the steps are same. Okay, for 11G, I think label security, we have to link your use some relink kind of command to enable the data label security. And in case of multi-tenant, you have to enable your label security and data vault first at the container end, and after enabling at the container only, you can enable it at the pluggable. Okay, and for the container, you might be knowing it, you have to create a common user. Okay, c hash hash. Right,
Okay.
the steps are there in PPT. Anyways, I will be sharing the PPTs with you. You can just
Okay.
follow that same. Okay, so just run this UTL RP once more and can restart your database. Okay, you have to run through sysdba. So this is a downtime activity. You cannot perform it online. So let it restart. Let us go back to slides once. Okay, you can enable your DB, restart your database. You can try to see that whether you are able, the Sys user is able to create users or not now. So it should be restricted to create the users. Okay, so this is a steps in the for the multi-tenant. You create a C hash user, you configure your DB, you enable the DB, then you can restart your database, then do the same thing for each PDB. Whatever PDB you want to enable the database vault, just do the same thing for each PDB. Okay, in DBCA, I have shown you right in the database option, you have to enable the database vault. Then in the second screen, you can configure it and provide a database vault owner user and database account manager user. Okay, so this way you are saving you from multiple steps that you first create a user, you give a password, you give create session, okay, and then you assign, then you configure it with these two privileges. Otherwise, you run with DBCA and you can directly assign them. Okay, so then you can see from VDOR option database vault, the option would be true. Okay, so then while to disable it, you can disable DB the same way you can log into DB owner user and you can disable it. Okay, and then you can remove the DB with the DB remove.secret. What we did actually, actually when if it is already there, the configuration already there, then you can remove this with these commands. With these commands, you can remove this. Disable DB need to be done on each PDB and the container as well. Okay, so what would be the impact once it is enabled? These all parameters would be changed. Your auditing would be by default enabled. Okay, anybody enables the auditing of top level operation directly issued by the user sys. So all your sys user auditing will be enabled by default. Okay, OS roles would become false. Disable the OS to completely manage the granting and revoking of roles to user. So OS roles will become false. Remote login password file anyways is exclusive. Okay, so it is across different version. If you have changed it, then it will become exclusive. Okay, but it is by default anyways exclusive. You have not changed it. Okay, so now the SQL 92 security would be enabled as well. So these all parameters will be changed once database vault is enabled, and all these privilege would be revoked. Okay, all these privilege would be revoked from DBA. Okay, so sys and system cannot no longer create, alter, and drop user. User who have database vault account manager can only create a user. Privilege like DB, etc., can be granted by sys. User can still change their passwords. Okay, so there would be two major roles, DB owner and DB account manager. Okay, so all these commands would automatically get audited. Even DBSys and DBF get enabled. Okay, so there would be one more schema known as DBSys. Okay, we might not be using it much, but we should be knowing that there is a one more schema which is on which is kind of a sys schema for database vault. That is the DBSys schema. Okay, it has all the rights. It has all the rights of DB owner, DB admin, DB monitor, and DB secure analyst. Anyways, DB owner, if we have DB owner, that would be sufficient for us to see the all the dictionary tables as well, to configure database vault and to add the realms as well. Okay, so these are all the different database vault dictionary views which you can see. So DVC schema contains the database. So this would be the schema that would be containing all those objects. Okay, would be containing all those objects. Okay, so these are different dictionary views which will help us to see all those different things we're going to do. Like for realms, we have dictionary views. For factors, for other things, we all have all these views. Okay. Any questions?
No, Arma.
Okay, let me restart and then let me show you. Okay, so we'll continue, I think, with the realms. Just see that this owner and this will not have the permission to create the user. Now sys user, I logged in as a sys user. Now this also doesn't have the permission to create a user. Not sys user is also not able to create the user. Only DV sys will be able to create the users. Okay, so catch up with the realms, go through more in detail and catch up with the realms maybe tomorrow. Okay.